right? Why am I always choosing the wrong person? That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to break that down today, and I'm going to share a few things with you on why you could possibly be choosing the wrong person. Um, One of the things that I'm going to talk about is patterns and energies that lead you to toxic and incompatible partners. Typically, it stems from unresolved personal issues. So, things that you've dealt with in your past, limiting beliefs, subconscious beliefs, and energetic imbalances. And so, typically, I'm going to start off at unhealed childhood wounds. So, typically, we have unhealed wounds that we've had in childhood, and some of them are going to affect us today. And so, one of the issues that affects us in this area is abandonment issues. And that is a fear of being left. And that can attract partners who are emotionally unavailable and inconsistent. And so, I know that this is true because I typically had that issue growing up. I had abandonment issues, and I didn't realize until I started doing this work. When I started doing this work, I was able to see that I had those abandonment issues, and I was able to shift that so that I could stop attracting needy ass people. Because what happens is you attract these people that, they love bomb you, but when you start getting into it and you start getting into relationship and you start talking and getting into the nitty gritty after the honeymoon is over, then you realize that they are emotionally unavailable. They're too distant. They're inconsistent. They don't really know what the hell they want. And so you, because of your fear of being left, you attract these people because it's almost like you attract anybody. You're just anybody. Another issue that will come up for you is codependency. Growing up in an environment where your needs were overlooked may lead you to seeking validation in relationships that are unhealthy. And many times when you've grown up like that, you know this, especially if you've done any work around it, if you've had any therapy, if you've had any healing sessions, if you went to church and you talked to the pastor. Any type of thing like that, you typically know that you're in a codependent situation, especially, if you grow up like that. And so when you're in that, it makes you attract, validation in the wrong places and the wrong faces. So you're out here, attracting validation from people that mean you no good. And so typically that's how we get involved in these situationships that we shouldn't be involved in. It's really not a good thing because that is an unhealthy childhood wound that is going to make, when you start looking for relationships, is going to lead you to trying to find your truth in someone else in an unhealthy relationship. And that's how people get involved in domestic violence and different things like that, because they are allowing these codependency wounds to dictate who they're choosing. And so another thing is attachment styles. So if you have an anxious or avoidant attachment pattern, that can also create cycles of push and pull dynamics. So what does that mean? That means that you are in this pattern where you have this anxious and avoidant pattern, so you think that, everything has to be, like this, like this, like this. And so if it's not like that, then you're going to pull back, and or you're going to push the other person away. So you have to look at that and see how that played out in your life and see what kind of things is causing you today. And the next thing is lack of boundaries. So overgiving is another one that's huge. And I know about that because for some reason, I felt like I just always had to be the one giving, giving, giving. And what that looks like in relationship. And I'm not even talking about just love relationships. I'm talking about friend relationships. What that looks like is you're always the one giving. You're always the one giving, 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 giving. And a lot of times you're not receiving at all. So what kind of relationship is that? That's a one-sided relationship. And that happens so often in love relationships. There's one person that's doing all the giving and the other person that's doing all the receiving. That's a lack of boundaries. That means that you feel so badly about yourself that you're always the one that is giving, like you're the one that always has to give. And more than likely it's something that happened when you were a child where you were made to give, 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 or you were made to feel bad if you didn't give. So then what it sets up for you in your life is over giving, constantly giving without receiving. That can attract partners that exploit your generosity. That can attract gold diggers. You know, people that really don't mean you no good. All they want to do is take, 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 take. And that can show up in your life in not only the partner zone, but it can show up in the friend zone. So that's something that you want to look at. Another thing is difficulty saying no. People with weak boundaries often tolerate bad behavior or mistreatment. So if you don't have any boundaries, then people can do anything. You know, they have a saying that says that if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So if you don't have boundaries or your boundaries are very weak, people treat you any kind of way, and you wonder why people are treating you that way. You wonder why, that man is talking to you like shit. You wonder why that woman is giving you her ass to kiss. You wonder why. It's because you tolerate it. You put up with it. You have no boundaries, and you need to work that out. It's one of the things that is really going to get you in these situationships that go round and round and round and round. You have people that don't respect you. Why? Because you have no boundaries, and they know this. And you will attract those people. Typically, you will attract narcissists. Okay, so the next thing is energetic imbalances. So chakra imbalances in your sacral chakra, self-worth and relationship, or your heart chakra, or your heart chakra. And that can draw in partners who reflect those wounds. So typically, you'll draw in partners that will validate your lack of self-worth. It will validate your lack of self-love. And typically what that means is they won't love you either. They won't love you either. They'll validate the fact that, you think you're lower than dirt, so they'll think you're lower than dirt. And these are the people that you attract because you have these imbalances. Mirror effect. Relationships often act as mirrors, reflecting unresolved shadows or lessons that need attention. So if you start looking at your situation and you see something that you don't like, typically it is a mirror effect because you are looking at that and it is mirroring yourself back to you. Especially if you happen to be around some reflectors, which I am. And that's why I can mirror these things back to you. Subconscious beliefs about love. So you have a scarcity mindset. You believe that all the good ones are taken because this is what we hear. We hear it all the time. The media tries to shove it down our throat, but it's bullshit. It's what you believe. So scarcity mindset will get you to thinking that there are no good men, or there are no good women, or there are no good people. That's all bullshit. It really is. It's a scarcity mindset, and it's not going to get you anybody that's good because you believe that all the good ones are taken. Unworthiness. Feeling unworthy can attract partners who reinforce that belief. Again, same thing as scarcity mindset. If you don't feel worthy of having a good partner, somebody that treats you kindly, somebody that loves you, if you don't feel worthy of it, then you will get what you feel. Because as Neville Goddard says, the feeling is the secret. And y'all, that is so real. So if you feel unworthy of love, guess what? You won't get anybody that will treat you and love you. You'll attract partners that reinforce what you believe. That's how that goes. It's the law of attraction. And then patterns of familiarity. And so I've talked about this on other videos, and I talked about how we all have these types. So recreating familiar dynamics, even if it's toxic, even if it feels normal to the subconscious. And this could be when you were raised in domestic violence households. When that is what you see, your mama beating your daddy beating your mama, your mama beating your mama, your daddy beating your daddy, whatever it is. This is what you grew up with, and this is what you see, and so it's familiar to you. So a lot of times what happens is you create that type of situation for yourself because it's what you're familiar with. Does it mean it's right? No, it's not right, but it's familiar. And so this is what you do. That's one way. It's toxic as hell, but you want to go and, do this because this is what you know. And then there's another way that you're picking these types. You say, oh, I have this type. I like them tall, dark, and handsome. I like them short, round, and bald. I like them skinny. I like them big boobs, big butt. I like them this color. I like them that color. I like them that culture. I like this culture. All these things that mean nothing, you know, because you get all those things and then you get somebody that's toxic or somebody that has a bad attitude or somebody that treats you unkindly, all those things. And so you want to get away from all of that and open your heart to love. So typically we start when we get in these situationships, we start ignoring the red flags. And so, some of the red flags, are rushing intimacy. If somebody wants to sleep with you the minute they meet you, you don't think there's something wrong with that? You don't even know them. You haven't even really had enough conversation to see if you even really like this person on the inside, but you want to rush and jump in the bed with them, or you want to, come on now. Come on. Because what happens a lot of times, what happens with that is, once you do that, it creates a portal. It opens a portal. Another thing is you romanticize potentials. So instead of seeing the person as they are, you focus on, something else. You know what I mean? That's not them. And so that's another thing, when you are focusing on someone who they could be instead of who they are. Because, everybody has potential. And I'm not speaking against, getting with someone that has potential, especially when you're young. But if you guys are older, it needs to be something more than potential. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be, who they are. And also, you need to see them. You can also see their potential, but you need to see them as they are. You do. And you need to accept that. Number 6 is astrological or energetic compatibility. So look at your astrological signs. Look at who you are underneath that. Look at some of your oppositions, and look at your karmic relationships, because sometimes we don't even realize, but that stuff comes back. It comes back. Look at how you treated the last person. Look at how you treated one that actually probably could have been the person, but you mistreated them, or look at how they treated you. All of these things matter. Another thing is lack of self-reflection. So repeating cycles. Without taking time to introspect and go within, you may unconsciously attract the same partner repeatedly. People go around and around on like a merry-go-round, stopping at this one and then getting the next one and getting the next one, and they all the same. Because why? You haven't recognized the cycles. You haven't recognized the patterns. You haven't recognized that you have a type, that instead of making your type about what happens on the inside, you're making your type about what happens on the outside. Instead of making your type about, a person that loves you and loves only you. You make your type about, tall, dark, and handsome. I know it. I understand it. I've been there. That's why I can speak on it. The other thing is ignoring your intuition, because your intuition speaks to you, overriding your gut feelings, overriding, when you get them goosebumps, overriding and ignoring those signs can absolutely lead you to disaster. So that is something that you definitely want to consider. You want to shift the patterns. You want to break the cycles. Some of the things that you definitely want to do is begin to really work on your trauma. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. Energy healing is always amazing. Journaling is good. Acupuncture is amazing for these type of things. Believe it. You want to cultivate self-love. So you want to start cultivating self-compassion and loving on yourself, taking yourself out on dates, saying sweet, kind things to yourself, setting high standards on how you are to be treated. Okay? Another thing is you want to strengthen boundaries. You want to learn how to say no and protect your energy. You want to raise your vibrations. You want to meditate. You want to clear your energy. Take spiritual baths. And align with partners who match your higher frequency. So you want to get away from all those low vibration people that you're hanging around and move into a space where you're around people with more high vibrations. People that feel the way that you feel about themselves. People that love on themselves. You also want to seek awareness. So you want to look at your past relationships and you want to begin to really identify the patterns and the lessons and the blessings and all the things involved so that you can look and see what it is that you desire. Because even though they're a person that you weren't with, there were some things about them that you did like. And so when you begin to heal and you begin to align with your true self, you naturally will begin to attract healthier relationships, more compatible partnerships, people to be in your energy and in your awareness just because you are aligning to love and you're becoming the love that you seek. So, again, this is Tammy Morrison. I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you for hanging out. It's been a blast. It always is. I will be live again tomorrow. So, make sure you join me again. We're going to be talking, I'm going to be talking more about love because that is where I'm going on this channel, is aligning to love and doing that through all of the different energetic tools that I have. So, make sure that you follow me continually. Make sure that if you are not subscribed, that you subscribe and that you hit the button, the bell, to be notified when I go live or when I post new content, new videos. And also make sure that you check out in the description of the video, check out my Amazon links. I am in Amazon affiliate, so I do get a small commission, but I would love it if you would support me by checking out my Amazon links and also going to my stand store and seeing if I have many free resources available as well as paid resources. I also have a membership in there, Remember Who the Fuck You Are, and it is in the stand store. You can grab it. It is $97 a month. We will have community there. It's amazing. Align to Love is my course that I am creating at this time. It should be ready in the next few weeks, but that course is going to be phenomenal. Actually, some of the things that I'm telling you now is going to be in this course. And so I'm so excited about it, y'all. I'm so excited because it's really going to help people to learn how to align, you know, to all that they are and to become the love that they seek so that they attract that which they want. So definitely check that out. And remember, I do have sessions. I have 30-minute sessions, phone sessions. So if that's something that you're looking for, and if you're looking for a Zoom session, I have those as well. But check out my stand store. There's a few different things on there that you can support me with. Thank you for helping out a budding creator. Thank you for watching some videos. I am currently monetizing, so I need people to watch some videos so I can get those watch hours and share the videos out to people that are like-minded. And I do appreciate you. Again, follow me on TikTok at Intuitive Tammy. You can follow me also on Clapper at Intuitive Tammy. And I will definitely be back again to speak with you. Matter of fact, tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. So have a great day. Bye now.